The institution of a presidency and the state house has been reduced to a likening of a market whereby you don't lack mad men in the market just to bring life. Anyway, the status that was there in the presidency and the state house is no longer there. What do I mean? President William Samoei Ruto has done this deliberately, like each and every day, if not having thousands of persons meeting in a state house, then it is him on top of vehicles meeting people outside. I mean, you would ask yourself, at what time does the president sit in his office? Well, the same question I'm asking. Now, just the other day, we saw over 12,000 possibly aspirants who would want to be leaders in the upcoming 2027 elections meeting up at the State House. And it is alleged that they parted with between 5,000 to 30,000 shillings. Those are monies that are running to the tunes of hundreds to 200s of millions. You understand? In a country whereby the education sector is so much injured, in a nation whereby somebody is lying down in a hospital bed, not able to pay the medication fee, in a country whereby the economy is not doing well, then boom, the president says, for those who are earning less than 30,000 Kenyan shillings will not be taxed. And those earning below 50,000 shillings, their taxes will be reduced from 30% to 25%. Why didn't this happen exactly after the 2022 elections? Why couldn't this happen even a few months after the elections? Remember, they promised the bottom-up economic model, which I'm yet to see working. They claim that the Nyota fund is the real representation of bottom-up economic model. I'm here to explain to you how this loan is gotten and it is going to affect you as the taxpayer. I want to take you through the loans that we take from World Bank, the IMF loans, and what World Bank loans are meant for, what the IMF loans are meant for, what is the interest, what is the payment period of the principal amount, and at what interest. Now, I don't want to act like I'm really smart, but you see, I did my research through ChatGPT. I keyed in this question that I told ChatGPT. I would like to have a brief knowledge about loans that the World Bank and IMF give to countries like Kenya. And this was the response from the ChatGPT. The World Bank and IMF both lend to countries, but for different purposes. The World Bank mainly funds long-term development projects such as infrastructure, health, education, agriculture, and youth programs. The IMF mainly provides short to medium-term loans to stabilize economies during financial stress, currency shortages, or balance of payment crisis. Type of World Bank loan used for Nyota style program. Now, programs like Nyota are usually financed through IDA concessional credits, the softer World Bank window for developing countries. That means, when does Kenya start paying the principal? Typically, grace period is about 5 to 10 years. During this time, Kenya does not repay the principal. Only small service or interest charge are paid, plus a small service charge, 0.75%. I mean, you are being told the interest is between 0 to 2% and a small service charge, 0.7%. So whatever loan you are getting, you multiply 0.75%, subtract it, and that is what you are given, the service charge. Like, have you seen those mobile loans that you take? You take a loan of 1,000, but they deposit to you 700. So 300 is service charge. So we want to give a typical example. Like, let's say the Nyota program. This is just a typical example. I'm not giving actual figures. Let's say, for example, government takes a loan for youth program, let's say like Nyota, which is $300 million. So this type of loan is in the window of IDA, concessional credit. So the interest or service charge is 1.5%. Grace period, 8 years. Total repayment period, 38 years. So how could we break this down? Now, during the grace period, Kenya does not pay the principal amount, which is $300 million. Only small service interest charge is paid. So annual payment during grace period is 1.5% of $300 million is $4.5 million per year. Are you getting it? It is grace period, but in this grace period, you pay a 1.5% of the $300 million that you are given, which by calculation is 4.5 million per year. So for first 8 years, government pays 4.5 million yearly. Now I want you to calculate 4.5 million times 8. That is $36 million. $36 million for 8 years at 1.5%. That one you haven't started paying the principal amount. And only on grace period between year 1 to year 8, you've already paid $36 million out of the $300 million that you're given. And don't forget, there was that service charge. This $300 million, you didn't get it as a whole sum. Some of it was chopped as a service fee. Principal still remains $300 million. So now we start from year 9 to year 38. Principal plus interest face. So principal per year, $300 million by 30. That is 10 million per year. By the time you are done paying this loan, how many loans do you think the government shall have taken? So who is fooling who when the government is telling us that, we have come up with a youth enterprise fund? It is we. Now imagine in this scenario, maybe they take billions of Kenyan shillings as loans from the World Bank. Then disperse a little of it, the rest used on campaigns. And that is the exact thing that is happening. Tell me, who is that person who has so much money to invite over 12,000 people in State House and give them 30,000 per head? Where is that money coming from? I mean, what business are you in to give that kind of profit per day? Unless you are stealing from the public coffers. And Kenyans, we're just here, seated safer, everything is normal. No, everything is not normal. Something is amiss. So I said, if you're shouting one term, shout it with a reason. If you're shouting two term, shout it with a reason. Dig deeper. Not just emotions. Use facts. Analogy. Let us wait and see. Things are getting from bad to worse. And should you do a mistake of electing William Samoei Ruto again in 2027, you will have no country. You will have nothing called Kenya. This nation shall have been thrown to the dogs. I'm sorry to say, but that's just the plain truth. I mean, these monies that you are seeing are being dished out, so-called empowerment programs. It started with Professor Kithure Kindiki. Now we don't see the empowerment programs. Where was that money coming from? You see, like there's some NGOs who does a proposal. After doing the proposal of saying we want to conduct a certain project, they give an overzealous budget. They get billions of funding, but they take a small chunk of it, do certain projects kidogo kidogo, then the rest pocketed. Are you not aware of that? That is the same thing the government is doing with loans. They are taking loans, cut part of it, start the said project, the rest pocketed. And that is why you may never know where these monies end up into. That's why we call for an audit of Kenya government loans. An audit should be conducted to know what amount was received, what was disbursed, what is the balance, what is the repayment plan, what has been paid so far, what do we owe so far. That's what we should be checking into. Then the president is there lying to you that they have decided to scrap off taxing people who are earning less than 30,000 and reduce the tax to 25% from 30%. I mean, what happened during the finance bill while you were passing it? Didn't you know that Kenyans are struggling? Why now in 2026, a few months towards the elections? Why now? Akili kichwani. What's your take? Give me your take in the comment section below. If you're watching from a YouTube channel and you love content of this nature, kindly subscribe and press the notification button. So anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. Ahmed Halif is my name for the Unscripted Talks here in Dab Radio. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dab Radio ndio mpango mzima.